subject and said that she really was worried about me. Maybe she isn't so bad.
I don't know, man.
Blah!
That was
That's
what
kind of...
what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Why
Did
in
we
the
just read that?
Yeah,
Did we just read that?
I can't believe it.
Why would she enjoy that?
Did we have to read that?
50 Shades of Grey. A hate story.
No.
And then he thrust himself deep into my clitoris. How do you thrust yourself deep into a clitoris?
I don't know.
Wait, hold on.
No, I don't even want to ask. Either way.
You know what we forgot to do? We should go back to Just Us Wives and show it to her.
Yes.
You're like, what were you thinking? Bad girl. Hit it with the paper. You know, the newspaper just rolled up the newspaper.
and like spray her with one of those bottles.
Like a bad dog. So, you can see she was kind. She was good to me.
On second thought, Mont, maybe not.
I take it you want to know more about my marriage, then. What are you interested in? The husband or the other wife?
Shit.
I'm interested in the husband. Like, what techniques did he use to just make you
What?
fucking... I'm sorry.
Come on, keep it PG.
I'm not really ready to talk about him, not beyond what I wrote in my diary. It's just too hard. Oh god, she's like clutching her arm, she's blushing. And she said too hard, LG. I can't help it. I can't help it. The game wants me to.
No.
He didn't.
Don't let it.
We never. It's not as if we had conversations. You think our relationship was one-sided? You have no idea. Anyway, here. I can give you some more. There's an entry from Ohai here. She did talk about him. She was, well, a lot stronger than I ever was. So you can see for yourself why I admire her. And, well, just read it then, alright?
Alright, Mont. Let's ask her...
Well, no, she's got the little sister one.
Oh.
Dear Diary, attending to my husband has been easier than I was afraid it would be. Yes, there's days when it requires more strength than usual to keep going. I'm still getting increasingly more sick. Nothing will change that, but it's not so bad, really. All I have to do is dote on him and try to anticipate his desires, and he's happy with me. No abuse or anything. Sure. It's not as if I like him. He's an ugly 40-year-old man who cares only about politics and never tells me anything. That I like to fuck, because I'm a slut, you fucking slut. Anyway, never tells me anything. Love? Well, that's certainly no concern. I don't know where I ever got the impression that was something that could happen in a marriage. I thought it was something from the past, but... well, I was young before I got put into stasis, and it must have been a mistake of childhood. But so long as I do as I'm told, I'm not mistreated, like I was by my sister, and sleeping with him feels good. I really hope I don't get pregnant soon. I don't want that to stop. Doing that is really the only thing that makes me actually happy these days. Well, that
creepy.
Jaehua talks with me. She's nice. She keeps me company when I stay up to wait for his return. She fetches servants to take me to bed on those days I'm too feverish to sit for too long. And she just talks to me. As if I'm a friend. I don't really understand why, but I guess she really doesn't hate me after all. Do let me tell you, she said one evening while she was brushing my hair, I always wanted a little sister growing up. That's how I think of you. Does that make sense? I shrugged. It was nice of her, and it felt so relaxing to let her touch my hair like that. She wasn't waiting for a response, anyway. By now, she knows better. She just keeps talking kindly to me. Alright, so she's a nice person, even though you're banging her husband.
Creepy.
It is creepy.
Incredibly fucking creepy.
He's an ugly 40-year-old man, but I like to have sex with him. I can't get over that. I can't. I just can't, LG. I can't.
I don't think anyone can or should.
I can't. I can't.
Stop.
I can't. We're going back home.
Please do.
We're going on to question 9. I'm asking her why she killed people.
Thank you.
Because now she's like made me a little bit sick.
She's made every one of us sick.
There's something you need to understand. Ah, okay. So she wants me to really go through all that fucking stuff. She won't let me ask that question yet.
Fuck. This is just gonna get awkward, isn't it?
This is gonna get worse.
Wait, if it gets incredibly worse, what do we do?
I don't... As long as they're not talking about, you know, hitting G-spots and shit, I'm fine, I guess.
Creepy.
It's just me. I'm fine, as long as, you know, that's not the
Okay, but we're
subject.
gonna
Let's
have to
go
put
on
a PG...
to illiterate. You gotta read this one. Ryo Jehua.
Ryu Jehua.
Put your mouse away.
Sorry. Right there. The more she lives in my house, the more I am confused, but by the mystery that is the Pale Bride. No wonder why my husband has been favoring the... I'm doing a girl, god damn it.
Yeah, you are doing the girl. Why wouldn't you... I even said earlier, Jehua is the wife.
Things... No wonder why my husband has been favoring
No.
what?
Come on, do serious.
Fine.
What is this, Mabinogi, where the girl is being faked?
Yes.
No. No, it's
Alright,
not.
fine. Their daughter seems to be the perfect woman. She's not simply a pale beauty. She's always too shy to speak at all, let alone argue. Seems to hang off is everywhere, and it turns out is actually so completely humble in her education that she cannot even read.
What?
Or rather,
Okay, go on.
she cannot read normal characters. I've observed her writing to herself in perhaps what may be a diary. When I asked what it was, she wouldn't say, but was quick to hide it. I could not recognize a single character on blank.
On her screen.
However, they seemed simplified compared to regular writing. Perhaps she has invented a writing system just for herself. It is very strange. Did you ever receive those letters I sent to your house before you arrived? I asked her. Curious. Seemingly she has had... Did you read them? Her response was worried, as if she was scared that I would be angry to find out that she hadn't. I was not, of course. I'm sorry. I'd assumed... Are you able to read? That was when I found out she wasn't. I offered to read them to her, to which she seemed quite enthusiastic. I think I am likely to leave out some parts, however. I had enough difficulty bringing myself to writing the more embarrassing parts of the family history. Bringing myself to talk about them, even if I know she would never say anything, is just too far.
It's just far too much.
My bad.
Oh, but hi, Raging Banana.
I
gotta
had fun
disable
playing
that.
Borderlands too.
Ever since
Okay.
I refit my computer. Go on.
Alright. Like all things with her, I cannot tell whether her enthusiasm is sincere or effort to make me happy. This troubles me.
Why would you do that? Stop that. Of course I wasn't illiterate. I could read just fine, just not their stupid Chinese best characters. I mean, I can understand them now. Everything except for my diary entries is translated for them. It's such a dumb way of writing it, though. It makes everything come out so stilted compared to proper Korean. Oh, anyway. You're showing me that because you're interested in her admonitions, right? LG, what's admonitions?
Admonitions, I don't know.
Yes? Then here. I'll just give you the letter she sent. They give all the details, even the one she was too embarrassed to tell me about at the time. You can probably guess which part she cut out. It's pretty obvious. It's the incest thing that she never told me about all that time. Having read about it now, I don't really blame her. And, well, here you can see what I mean for yourself.
Okay, man.
Okay, hold up. This is getting to be a bit much.
No.
So first she's enjoying herself with a 40-year-old man who's fucking her against her will. And now she's going on about... It's just... incest.
Creepy.
Alright, let's go into
Creepy head.
muteness.
Fuck.
Dear Diary, I've been thinking a lot about how close my death must be now. Lately, I've been getting prone to faint spells, but it probably goes right along with my diminishing appetite. If the doctor from the past was right, I've still got over a year left to live, maybe more. He said it wasn't very likely to get bad enough to kill me until I was at least 18, although maybe all those years in stasis might have changed that. I don't know. But if he was right, and if I hadn't lost track of time, I'm 16 and a half right now. And there's still a while. Okay, so she's 16 and a half, having sex with a 40-year-old man, hoping she's not getting pregnant with a man who is in a family about incest. This is getting bad, LG.
Where's the doctor when you need him?
I've been trying to hide the signs of sickness, even if I could explain. I know full well that nobody would believe me. So far, hiding it has been mostly working. Although I did have one of my fainting spells while my husband was on top of me. I can't do that accent if I'm going to be reading, sex things.
Okay, this is getting really fucked.
He wasn't angry at me, though. I don't think he cared. I know all I write about these days is sex with my husband and conversations with his wife. The Kim family would be proud, I guess. But those two things are all that's really worthwhile in my life. I have other responsibilities, of course. They're just not that interesting, and that's about it. Anyway, the Queen has continued to be nice to me. She finally figured it out. We were having tea together one afternoon. She was talking about nothing in particular, and she asked me some questions that I just shrugged to. I hope you don't take this the wrong way, she then said, but there's something I would like to ask you, I nodded. I don't think I've ever heard your voice before. I nodded again. Why don't you ever speak to me? Are you just saving that for the Emperor? I didn't know how to respond. She was so close to getting it, to bringing up the subject I wasn't able to, yet that wasn't the right question. So I shook my head and hoped that her next question would be... It was. Then, Yunai, she said, uncertainly. Are you mute? I felt like screaming yes at the top of my lungs. I was so happy that she'd finally figured it out. I smiled and was about to nod enthusiastically, but suddenly I stopped. What if she thought less of me if I said yes? If she knew that the reason I was so quiet and demure wasn't because of any sort of discipline? Those were the things that people liked about me. Would she stop liking me if she knew? What if she told my husband? I was so terrified, I couldn't think of any correct answer. If I said no, I'm sure she would have asked to hear what my voice sounded like, and I'd be forced to disobey. And if I nodded, then she'd know I wasn't really just trying hard to be a good wife, and I'm sure she would talk to my husband about it, but so he would know too. But while I stared at her in terror, thinking of how to respond, she sighed and sipped her tea. Don't worry about it, she said. You don't have to answer. Please do forget that I even asked. So she's mute.
Huh.
Okay.
Well then, that's a,
Well, that's something different. At least we're getting off the sex thing.
Thank God.
Watch her bring up the sex thing. Watch her bring up the sex thing.
God damn it.
You know, nobody ever noticed that until her. Nobody cared. Nobody ever thought any of it or cared enough about me to find out. But she did care. She actually paid attention. She was great. That's it? That's all you gotta say about that? Okay. So no sex thing.
Thank God.
What?
I said thank God.
Okay.
It was getting creepy.
This is gonna bring up the sex thing. I'm waiting for it. I'm anticipating it.
Creepy.
Alright, your turn.
Alright. Let's do this. Alright. Ow! Sorry. Just
Go
moving
on.
so I could speak better. My concern over the pale bride's condition has grown lately. She has seemed to grow even quieter. Such a thing is possible for me, girl. Or perhaps perhaps saying she is mute is an assumption too far on my part. I tried asking her directly, but she seemed too scared to answer. It simply makes me more suspicious, and I should like to know why. I addressed my husband on the matter, telling him that I wished to speak to the woman of the Kim family house to see if I could find out what is wrong. He shrugged me off, saying, "Don't! They're valuable subjects. The son is someone I have my eye on in particular." Ew! Ew, ew.
Stop it. It's not a sex thing. Go.
I'm kidding!
Jesus.
The politics of the situation are far too delicate for you to be meddling with. Next page. I cleared my throat. He might be both my husband and emperor, but I would not let that stop me from being bold. My dear husband, I don't care, I said flatly. I'm worried about the girl, and I believe that talking to her mother might shed some light on the matter. The son is of no concern to me. I don't see why it matters. She's the perfect woman. Why are you jealous? He said, rolling his eyes at me.
No, why are you jealous?
Oh,
Not
sorry,
why are you jealous?
Why are you jealous?
No, why are you jealous?
Why are you jealous?
No, you're asking why are you jealous? It's why. Are you jealous?
Why are you jealous?
There you go.
He said, rolling his eyes at me. A gesture that he's only been able to use on me and his servants ever since becoming emperor. Nobody had the patience for it when he was a child. I don't have it now either. In Ho, dearest, do you believe that the well-being of your wife is a political matter? Or even an external matter? I asked. He didn't. So, would you say it's a domestic matter? I asked. He reluctantly agreed. Then, as a domestic matter? He said,
Stop saying that. Stop
Still
saying
not-
matter that way. Jesus. It's
There's so
bothering
many-
me.
He says matter like 3 times.
So?
It is the responsibility of the woman of the house, is it not? Please tell me you are, obviously more well-read in the classics than I said, both of us knowing he wasn't. Fine, he said. But because it is your responsibility, it does not mean I can't overrule you. He left silent to follow up. I don't have to take this from you. You do not know that my concerns are valid, though, I replied. If you value my opinion, you will let me speak to the Kim mother. There was a pause. Then he raised his hand in annoyance. Very well. Do it! It's women's business. I don't want a part in it, regardless. Then he shook his head. Why must all our conversations be arguments? I smiled to him and left. He already knows the answer.
Because he's having sex with another woman?
Creepy.
I never knew about that when we were alive. Like most things, I only found out after I took over the ship's computer. It just amazes me even more. Look at her. She's a woman who actually stood up to a man and won. She wasn't clumsy like I was. She knew how to work it from her position. Isn't that so amazing?
That sounded like a sex thing.